Okay, so today we'll be talking about different kinds of costs: direct cost, indirect cost, profit margin. So many a times we've heard factor in your direct cost, factor in your indirect cost, what is your profit margin. So today I said we're going to know exactly what is direct, indirect profit margin. Welcome to my channel. My name is Justice. On this channel, we sit and talk fashion tips, fashion business tips, sewing tips, fashion lifestyle, and many more. Please consider subscribing and watch my video to the end to get the best part of it. Okay, so when we talk about direct costs, we're talking about variable costs. Variable costs are costs that changes alongside production, costs that are known, okay? When you want to produce a garment, there are costs that you already know that this is what is associated with this garment. Without this being into the garment, that garment directly will not be produced. Okay, so they are invariable in the sense that the prices changes depending on what it is that you're going to be producing. So talking about indirect cost, we're talking about costs that are somehow fixed in their nature but may not be fixed in price. Okay, so we can just call them fixed cost or overhead costs. They are there, but they are somewhat difficult to be factored in directly into the cost of production. And then we have profit margin. Profit margin depends, you can charge this based on what is applicable in your locality, and you can charge based on what you feel is what your efforts, okay, what you think you're capable of earning for all the work they're going to put in place and for the growth of the business. Okay, so we're going to be explaining how to factor in this different costs in order to know what exactly our pricing is and how to charge our clients. So talking about direct costs, we're talking about, like I said before, direct production of the garments, the things that are directly going into production or production of the garments. So what are the examples of this direct costs? Examples of direct costs we have fabric. Is your client bringing the fabric? Are you the one buying the fabric? Whatever the case is, that is a direct cost that is associated with the production of the garment. So if you're the one buying it, you're going to factor in the cost of the fabric that you're using. Then other sewing accessories, we have the needle, we have the estay, we have the zipper, we have every other thing, the applique and all of that, which are directly related to your production. The things that take you to the market, that you go and buy them and bring and put them into the garments. All these are direct costs, and you're not going to be dividing these costs. Okay, so the way you get them in the market, that is how you're going to put that into the production of the garment. And also your fare to the market to and fro, especially now that the fares are very high, you're going to put them into the cost of the garments that you're producing. So if you're going to the market to buy materials and along the line you've spent like 2,000 naira going to the market and coming back, if you don't put that, it's already a loss for you. So you need to calculate all of that into the cost of production, the cost of producing the garment. And if in the market you're also going to be spending money on yourself, like the things you eat to have energy to continue the search, there are also costs that need to be factored in. Everything needs to be factored in. Things that are directly related to what you're producing, you need to factor them in. Also note that the time you spent in the market is also a cost. And so you need to find a way to impute that into the garments or the production, whatever it is that you're producing. You need to find a way to put that into it. Okay, if you stay in your shop a whole day, you know how much you'll be making, and leaving that a whole day to go and source for fabric or something for a particular production, that needs to be factored in. Now coming to the indirect costs, like I said before, these ones are difficult to calculate, as in they are more of calculations rather than just taking them and putting them into whatever it is you're producing. So talking about indirect costs, we're talking about your rent, all the utility bills in your shop or in your house. we have NEPA lights, we have you can add water if you pay for water separately in the place where you are producing. Okay, you have data. Okay, the data you use to source for clients, you need to factor it in. You have research, the time amount of time you spend on Pinterest trying to get designs and styles for production of a particular client, you need to factor that in. You have your machine maintenance. All of this, the machine someday is going to break down. And if you don't have money kept aside for it, you cannot continue to produce. And when you pick money from another place to repair the machine, you're already running at a loss. So these are indirect cost that needs to be calculated. Now, for instance, your rent, how do you calculate it? Let's say your rent is 300,000 naira for a year. You need to divide this into 365 days. So when you divide 300,000 into 365 days, you know how much it will give you. Now, for each day, you already know that you have this amount on rent that needs to be factored into the cost of your production. So when you get money, you're going to remove this amount and keep it separate for your rent. The same goes to your machine. How much does it cost you to repair or service the machine? Divide it per 30 days of the month. When you get the money, you already know that this amount is for machine. So every other thing, how much data do you spend in a month? Divide this into 30 days. You know how much you're going to add into your production. All of this, the time that you spend on research and all of that, you know how much it will cost you. Divide it and add into the cost of production. You're not going to put everything in one dress. You place it according to the percentage, according to amount of time or how it is divided per day, and fix it into the cost of production, so that when you're dividing, you already know that this is for this, this is for this, and this is for that. I hope this is making sense to you. Okay, so if it is making sense, please click the subscribe button. Just do it now. Click the subscribe button, turn on the notification button, and like this video, then come back and let's continue. You've done that, okay? All right, let's continue. Now, talking about profit margin. Profit margin, in most cases, you're to determine your profit margin based on your capacity, based on your ability, based on the value you're bringing, based on what you're doing. So you're the one to determine how much profit you're going to have. Now, listen, this profit margin is different from the cost of labor. Now, assume you are the business owner or you have someone who is working for you. You're going to pay this person maybe by percentage or depending on how you decide to pay the person. You're going to factor in the cost of labor into this production. Okay, so when you get the money, you already know that this is the amount you're paying this person. Now, for the profit of the business, that is a different thing altogether. That you can either use what is happening in your locality, how much are your peers charging. If you know, you can use this to determine how much you will charge. But this is also based on what you're capable of doing. If you're better than your peers, why would you charge the same thing they are charging? Except all of you are producing the same thing, the same value, the same capacity, the same capability, then you have no business charging more than what they charge, because your clients will leave you and move to them. So there must be value attached to what you're producing that will set you aside from others. Okay, aside this, you're at liberty to determine how much um, price, how much profit you're going to be attaching to the garment that you are making. I hope this makes sense to you. I know someone is asking, by the time you calculate all of this, won't the customer run away? No, the customer won't run away if you continue to add value to yourself and to your services. The customer will run away when they sense that you're not even growing. What you do today is what you do tomorrow, is what you do next tomorrow. There is no much value attached to what you're doing. You'll be stuck with customers who do not have any choice than looking for who to get it cheap, and whatever you give them is what they take. So if you charge, of course, this is not going to make the charge so exorbitant, but you need to have this sense that you're into business and whatever you do will cost you. If you don't charge for it, you're going to be the one to pay for it and your business is going to fold. So as you charge, continue to give value, continue to level up. The money you're keeping for your business, your upgrade is part of the business growth. As you pay for upgrade, buy more machinery, your clients will see that you're improving, and they will not have any choice than to continue to receive the excess value that you're going to be giving to them. Okay, so I'll see you next in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification button and like this video.